This Mother's Day, for a limited time only, 23andMe is taking $30 off their health and ancestry kit until May 13th. It's a fantastic gift to celebrate what makes moms special through personalized genetic insights on health, traits, and more. It's really simple to use. I used the kit myself and discovered a lot of really interesting facts. So this Mother's Day, get $30 off the 23andMe Health and Ancestry Kit by going to 23andme.com/deathbattle. That's the number 23andme.com/deathbattle. Again, that's 23andme.com/deathbattle. Offer ends May 13th.
It's a lesson every hero has to learn someday. Just because your enemy is a little on the chubby side doesn't mean he's a pushover.
Are you talking about me?
I'm talking about Wario, the greedy and repulsive rival to Mario.
And King Dedede, the royal nemesis to everybody's favorite pink puffball, Kirby. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
Mario is a pretty busy guy. If he's not saving his favorite lady, Princess Peach, he's off saving a whole different princess in a whole different land.
Until he returned home one day to find his castle under someone else's control.
First off, Mario has a castle? Awesome. But it had been taken by a chubby squatter dressed in yellow named Wario.
Wario is Mario's opposite in every way. While Mario is kind and heroic, Wario is selfish and mischievous.
While Mario is thick with one C, Wario has 2, maybe 3 C's.
Let's not. His name and symbol are even inspired by the Japanese word for bad, warui. You can't get any less subtle than Wario.
No kidding, but he's not some random chump. Turns out Wario is one of the 7 star children, possessing legendary power, and even grew up with Mario.
Wario's grudge against Mario goes way back. While they were children, they played cops and robbers a total of 1,256 times. And despite frequently asking otherwise, Wario only got to be the cop once.
Wow, dick move, baby Mario. Yoshi should have just left you behind in that stupid crying bubble.
Whether or not he was accidentally conditioned into villainy, Wario has 2 main goals: ruin Mario's life and get as rich as possible through any means necessary, including crime, treasure hunting, and even making video games.
He's got the power to rival Mario too. He's super strong and can bash through tons of rock and heavy metal with his shoulder bash attack. If that's not enough, he'll literally chew his opponents up. Ugh, just imagine those giant white bricks he calls teeth just closing around you.
He's also weirdly malleable, capable of being crushed, squished, twisted, and stretched with little to no ill effect. However, Wario's deadliest natural ability is definitely his inexplicable farting.
Wiz, that's no simple toot. This is the fabled flatulence of folklore itself. The atomic vapors of annihilation. The waft.
Kind of a lame name after all that.
The waft is a highly specialized technique which discharges an enormous burst of toxic gas so brutal it'll topple nearly any foe. When aimed correctly, this blast can even propel Wario through the air like a rocket while crop dusting anyone beneath his feet. It's, technically speaking, just majestic.
Right. Well, that's not exactly wrong. In some cases, Wario's waft has even been shown to be comparable to nuclear warheads.
By the way, I spent some time in your lab and I made a new invention.
How did you get into my lab?
Oh, nice try. After decades of research, I've discovered how to contain the pure essence of flatulence. Behold, the windbreaker!
That's nice. Let's move on.
Listen, Wiz, I'm really proud of this. She speaks!
Anyway, aside from his own abilities, Wario has access to numerous weapons and power-ups.
Like his one-of-a-kind chopper. Also, explosives.
Kind of redundant when he can fart a nuke.
There's always room for explosions, Wiz. Check out this huge blast some of his bombs caused, which he was totally at the center of and survived, by the way.
His power-ups include a jetpack, a metal body, and even Mario's own invincibility star. He can increase his size by plugging an air pump into himself and just don't question it. With the dragon hat, he spews fire. With the eagle statue, he takes flight. and he can even combine both of these to become King Dragon Wario, utilizing both these abilities while dramatically increasing his power and his weight.
And with just a little mouthful of rotten garlic, he dons pink tights to become Wario Man! This super form increases his strength and lets him fly, because he doesn't have enough ways to do that already, I guess.
He doesn't always need some random object of power to transform. Some of Wario's forms come about because of entirely reactionary means.
He can become Bouncy Wario after being crushed into paper, Flaming Wario after being set on fire, Puffy Wario after getting stung by bees, and Fat Wario after eating too much. Well, getting fat's a superpower?
These sound more like excuses than power-ups.
He even becomes Crazy Wario after getting drunk. Though it's just a ball in the American version, because, for kids and stuff, but... Anyway, I'm powering up! Jocelyn, order another 1,000 six-packs!
On his quest to humiliate his red-clad rival and accumulate Scrooge McDuck levels of riches, Wario has been through thick and thin.
Like Mario, he survived that big explosion in the tennis court, which we figured out is equal to 2.4 megatons of TNT. But Wario's also survived the Shake King blowing up in his face.
The Shake King was a pirate with immense electrical power. Upon his defeat, his body detonated, and the resulting blast split the sky. By comparing the blast and the parting clouds to a map of the Shake dimension, we determined the explosion's exact energy output to be equivalent to about 96 sextillion tons of TNT.
That's enough juice to blow up a large moon, and Wario was totally fine!
He can seemingly eat anything, including explosives and his own bike. He can, of course, keep up with Mario, who kicked a 61 million ton castle and piloted the Star Diver at Mach 375. Also, Wario destroyed the Black Jewel, an entity whose death triggered the collapse of an entire dimension.
So, does everyone he fights blow up when they die, or what?
Mario may best him time and time again, particularly thanks to Wario's clearly low intelligence, but his tenacity and willingness to never give up is strangely admirable.
This greedy bastard will never stop doing what he loves.
The country of Dreamland is a peaceful paradise.
Filled with some of the most adorable critters you've ever seen. Oh, look at the little Waddle Dees Waddle.
But wouldn't you know it, all this pristine prosperity is actually run by a tyrannical self-imposed monarch, King Dedede.
Ah yes, the classic dictator at work. They show you what they want you to see, but really, there's so much horror behind the scenes.
I suppose he did intentionally create a food shortage once, but Dedede doesn't really have that much sway over his questionably claimed kingdom, namely because of one plucky pink hero, Kirby.
Everyone's favorite lovable marshmallow. Suck it, Jigglypuff. Yeah, this little guy's always been there to ruin the Triple D's schemes.
Schemes which, to be fair, aren't always evil. Like the time he stole the Star Rod, seemingly for nefarious purposes, but in actuality to protect his citizens from the villainous Nightmare.
Yeah, it turns out this big bad penguin's mean side doesn't come from a place of true evil at all. Instead, it's because he's just really jealous of Kirby.
Right, before Kirby arrived, Dedede was a tubby bird with only a modicum of respect. After seeing Kirby's popularity and success, the king made up his mind. He would surpass the marshmallow.
Cue the 70s music, it's time for a training montage! Through countless hours of intense work and grueling training, Dedede pushed himself to mimic Kirby's abilities, and more. His speed improved, his strength skyrocketed, and in time, he even learned what all penguins hope to achieve one day. By inhaling a bunch of air, he can puff his body up like a balloon and fly.
To be clear, this is not a naturally occurring ability of his. He somehow trained himself to do this. This is backed up by no science whatsoever and makes absolutely no goddamn sense.
You shut up and let the penguin fly. And that's not the only Kirby trick he copied. His lungs are so strong now, he can inhale entire enemies and launch them at high speeds. He can even fire powerful air bullets that can break solid rock. You know, I've been training my air bullet technique too.
You? Boomstick, that's impossible. The human lungs don't have the capacity to...
I gotcha. But he's got way more up his sleeves than just stolen skills.
Absolutely. Sure, he's got an army of minions at his command, but when he wants to take someone down personally, Dedede jumps into the ring with one of his giant-sized hammers.
He's got a bunch to pick from. His usual favorite might look like an oversized wooden mallet, but it can summon freezing ice as he swings it, and secretly features a built-in jet booster to supercharge his striking power. Oh, you scared? Here I come! Here I come! Yeah, boom, bitch! While this move is garbage and smash, it feels really good when you pull it off.
Through the power of the Star Rod, he can amplify this into the Star Hammer. With this magic coursing through it, Dedede can cast several spells. He can increase his size, launch energy spheres, break the fourth wall, and mystically create up to 64 duplicates of himself.
Just more penguin goodness to go around. But when the Big D wants to get hardcore, he dons a mask and whips out his ultimate weapon, the Electric Hammer. Introducing the mysterious masked Dedede!
Yeah, it's not much of a disguise, but the Electric Hammer is a definite upgrade over his Jet Hammer.
Hell yeah, it's way stronger, can blast electricity, and has a flamethrower. Oh, and also a multi-barreled rocket launcher. Gun sword? Not good enough. Sniper scythe? Forget it. Give me a rocket launcher hammer any day of the week.
And remember that army of minions I mentioned before? Well, Dedede has a weird habit of actually carrying some of them around with him. Like, I guess, in his pocket?
If the rockets aren't enough, he can pull out this spiky sea urchin called a Gordo that's heavy enough to send almost anyone flying. The Gordo's one of his greatest tools, but it can also be a real pain in the ass.
Interesting that he's so jealous of Kirby's abilities despite having quite a noteworthy arsenal of his own. Thankfully, he has become much less antagonistic over the years, even directly aiding Kirby in protecting Dreamland from time to time.
And while he's not the sharpest bird in the box, he isn't all fluff. He can inhale and spit Kirby out with enough force to break through the planet Popstar's atmosphere.
Which means Dedede can spit objects up to 33 times the speed of sound. That's disgusting.
But that's nothing when you think about how he can match Kirby in sheer strength. This little guy can hit so hard, he destroyed a whole planet. God, calm down, Kirb. Why are you wrecking the place where you live?
Planet Popstar is shown to be similar in size to the planet Shiverstar, which strongly resembles a frozen-over Earth. To destroy an Earth-sized planet like this, Kirby must have been striking with a force of over 1,900 septillion tons of TNT.
Damn! Who would have thought this adorable pink puffball could pull that off? And get this! Apparently he's only 8 inches tall! He's a planet buster that fits in the palm of your hand!
He's shown even greater feats too, and while Dedede isn't necessarily taking this sort of damage every time Kirby lands a punch, he does fight on equal footing with him.
Who keeps making these cute and cuddly characters so freaking deadly?
On a similar note, Dedede is also comparable to Meta Knight, who once casually flew from one end of the galaxy to the other in seconds. Now, Dedede's never done such a crazy speed feat like that himself, but keeping up with Meta Knight in fights and dodging a meteor around 160,000 miles per hour certainly proves he's faster than you probably think.
Like when he fought the alien Magellan, who ripped apart a dimension with a weird star-shaped black hole, which Dedede survived. This penguin's gotta be doing some kind of performance-enhancing drugs. Oh, Jesus!
Though he still holds a massive grudge, King Dedede has proved his ability countless times, to the detriment, but often benefit, of Dreamland. Perhaps he's earned the title of king after all.
Well, he definitely thinks so.
There's only one bona fide ruler of Capitan, and that's me, King Dedede!
Alright, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
But first, I need to inhale some food.
By now, you've probably heard of Blue Apron, the leading meal kit delivery service in the US.
Choose your meals each week, get the ingredients delivered to your doorstep, and whip up a meal using the easy-to-follow directions provided.
I've been trying out their Best of the US series, which means I've had the pleasure of enjoying several recipes inspired by different regions of the country. It's actually been pretty inspiring, and they're delightful meals to boot. This is, in my opinion, the best aspect of Blue Apron. You get all the benefits of discovering new meals and learning how to make them, but without any confusion or last-minute crises.
My favorite part is feeling like a master chef, making creative and delicious meals with my own hands. You guys really need to try it out.
It's pretty nice coming home knowing I'll have a delicious meal I can whip up with ease. To start making delicious, brag-worthy meals at home without the hassle, try Blue Apron.
Check out this week's menu and get $60 off at blueapron.com/battle. That's blueapron.com/battle.
Blue Apron, a better way to cook.
But right now, it's time for a death battle!
I'm number one.
I told you those Gordos can be a pain in the ass. Wario sure had the upper hand when it came to versatility, especially with his reactionary power-up and totally unexpected techniques. Like, who would ever predict your opponent would drop an atomic fart in your mouth? genius.
Gross. But ultimately, Dedede still had plenty of counter options to use. For example, his hammer's ice properties could halt Wario's many fire attacks.
And unlike Wario, Dedede's flight didn't require any specific power-ups to control the air.
Unfortunately, neither Wario nor Dedede have truly shown their greatest potential speed. Compared to the likes of Mario and Meta Knight, it seems Dedede held the advantage, though admittedly it's impossible to know the exact specifics of that advantage.
Yeah, but given how tough these guys were, speed wasn't the biggest factor anyway. What we really had to know was how likely they could even hurt each other. I mean, they've been through some pretty nasty stuff. But guess what? Wario surviving the Shake King exploding doesn't stack up to Dedede getting sucked into a black hole.
By examining the event horizon of Magolor's singularity, we can estimate a range of the black hole's destructive potential. Even the lowest possible option comes out to nearly 86 octillion tons of TNT. That is over 5 times more powerful than the detonating Shake King. And again, that's the lowest option. The black hole's destructive potential is likely even higher than that.
So Wario had a hard time landing any meaningful damage because the big bird was just too tough. But if Dedede's anywhere as strong as Kirby is, and he should be given that they fight all the time, then he was making hits that were somewhere close to Earth-sized planet-breaking level. Definitely getting the edge over Wario's durability.
Wario's versatility and tenacity made this an incredibly close bout, but Dedede's strength, durability, and speed were just enough to take the victory.
He really took the penguin.
The winner is King Dedede.
Hey, thanks for watching this episode. If you want the battle music for yourself, you can get it by clicking the link below.
And if you want some more Death Battle, make sure to check out Captain Marvel vs. Shazam over there.